because we need him in top form for another 20 or 30 years. And he just makes things, really great things happen all the time. And just one example before I turn this over to him. About 4 years ago at one of our board meetings, he declared that we needed to host a big festival in our region, one that would celebrate one of the lesser known vegetables, one that grows well in the north. It was the rutabaga. The board responded with polite smiles, head shaking, and murmurs. Somebody suggested that perhaps the rutabaga wasn't the most glamorous crop. How about leeks? The whole idea, I believe, was tabled. But Tom, with an optimistic smile, brought it up at the next board meeting. He got nearly the same response, only now there was a tinge of nervousness as we realized that this was serious and it wasn't going away. But it was tabled again. So maybe the third board meeting, Tom persisted and we succumbed. Soon I found myself designing Great Adirondack Rutabaga Festival posters. Shortly thereafter, at the festival, I was crowned the rutabaga queen. I think that was his ploy all along. This year, on September 5th, at the Keene Valley's Farmers Market, we'll celebrate the third annual Great Adirondack Rutabaga Festival, complete with a 5K rutabaga run, chef demonstrations, and music, displays, and a rutabaga fetch for your dog. It's a terrific celebration of North Country agriculture. Tom did it again, just one of the many ways his persistence has paid off for Adirondack Harvest. And thank you, Tom, very, very much.
Thanks so much, Lori. We do have fun in Adirondack Harvest, and it's great working with farmers. And Lori has been a real stalwart for the last 4 years. We were kind of in disarray, not knowing where to go, and we needed some organization. And Lori, we thank you for bringing that to us. And really, this has been a partnership all along with so many people, with Anita and Mike Davis, who's really brought a season extension to the North Country, and Bernadette, who can't be here, and so many people at Cornell and in other areas who have contributed to this. I just looked at your mission statement. I don't know when you put that working farms in there. Has that always been there? Oh, I guess I never noticed that before. That's great. We appreciate that a great deal. But about 10 years ago,
10 years. You're bored, Brian.
about 10 years ago, a group of us got together, agronomists and some farmers, and we had a county planner, somebody from the IDA, and some politicians. I was one of those at that time. At any rate, we thought it would be great to preserve the farmland we have around here. And then the mission evolved, and we developed a mission statement, which took the first 2 years, I think. We envision, let me read it to you, I think it's pretty profound. I find it moving at any rate. We envision a picturesque and working landscape connecting local farmers to their communities and regional markets. Our goals are to increase opportunities for profitability and sustainable production and sale of high-quality food and egg products, to expand consumer choices for locally grown foods. In the last 10 years, I think we've made a contribution to the development of sustainable agriculture in the North Country. Just looking back 10 years, we had 8 farmers market in the Adirondack Park. We have 26 right now. There were no community gardens just 4 years ago. We helped get the first one started. Now we have, I think, something like 10. As a matter of fact, down in the center of agriculture in Speculata, New York, they even have a high tunnel over part of their community garden, and there are more and more coming. There are virtually no CSAs, and we have a few people in the community, farmers who are running CSAs, community supported agriculture. And back several years ago, we helped Keene Central create the first school garden. Since then, they've talked to people all over the state, and there must be about 10 or so gardens at schools. And we've been working with a farm to school program, farm to chef, and we've been pretty busy in coming up with great ideas. And one of these days, the rutabaga is going to be the state crop. We even produced a movie, Three Farms, not quite like King Corn, but it was shown as far away as San Francisco and all over New England. And we're coming up with a sequel to that called Three Farms New Farms Rising, right? Yeah. And in concert with the New York State Association of Public Broadcasters. So we've been pretty busy. We've had mentoring shops, conferences, and workshops, and all sorts of things to try to help the farmer. Not only help the farmer, but to encourage people to support the farmer and buy locally. We view agriculture as an economic tool that can enhance the life of the small farm and contribute to the vitality of the community. And that's really important. It isn't just about having a lot of nice fields and so on. If the farmer's successful, the farmer's going to patronize the restaurant, the hardware store, and contribute to the community. So that's important. Matter of fact, the 6 northern counties in New York, you know what the #1 commodity is in the 6 northern counties? Food. We spend over $1 billion for food in the 6 northern counties. Most of that processed food, most of it coming from many hundreds of miles away. And only $3 or $4 million is locally grown food. What a challenge that. Can you just imagine if we could ever get 10% of all the food that we consume to be locally grown, what that would do to the economy and to the farmland? So this is one of our missions. We really feel that we have to support the farmer, and working together create an opportunity to transform this little corner of the country and continue our role in the food revolution that I think is sweeping America right now. We want to thank the Adirondack Council for recognizing our contributions, however modest it is, to this mission, which I think is sweeping our nation. So we thank you very much.
I am very amazed at Adirondack Harvest. It shows you what citizen activists can do when they pull together and move forward in the way that they have. This has been a tremendous quiet movement in the Adirondacks, all done by private sector efforts with no government support. And in fact, they've struggled against policies that don't necessarily fit the Adirondack farmers. Partly in recognition from the state, we have 2 gentlemen from State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli's office with us today who would also like to recognize Adirondack Harvest. John Stouffer and David Sofer are here, and I'd like to ask you gentlemen to come forward.